All right, so this is our January team call. If your team members are not here, not to worry, this is going to be recorded and it's going to be up both on our team website as well as Freedom Factory. So pick and choose where you send them to watch it for the time being. But I wanted to bring your attention to this month's contest to start out with. Last month was insane, by the way. Like I do not know what you guys were drinking and eating, and maybe it was gingerbread cookies. I don't know. You need to just keep doing it because you all did. I don't know. I had no words. It was our record month for the entire year. And I know that this month already has started off kind of on the same foot. It's like you guys are just blasting forward, and I'm so proud of all of you. I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with your paychecks on the 15th. Like I would love to hear all these shout outs in Freedom Factory because I think it's so powerful. But we have a cash contest this month. I don't know if any of you saw it, but it's in Freedom Factory. When you look up cash challenge, I believe it pops up, and I made it as simple as I could, but it's like super rewarding. So I'm not going to give away another purse that you don't want, or another, I don't know, self-development book that you probably want or you should want, but I'm just going to give away $100 of cash. If you're in the US, it's US dollars. If you're in Canada, it's Canadian dollars. If you're in the UK, I'm going to really ramp it up and make it UK pounds, which is actually a lot more than $100. So there's a little bit of motivation for the couple people that we have from the UK right now. But how it works, just in case you didn't see it, I want to make sure that you tell all your team members because it is attainable for anyone and everyone. As long as you go and check, and you can check it in the graphic tree, and then you go under your own view details, see what your volume was for last month as far as your personal volume, as far as your PV. If you beat your own personal PV from December by 200, so let's say you had 500 in December and this month you have 700, you're going to be automatically in a draw for $100. Like I can't make it any easier than that. Plus, it's easy to keep track of. It's not about the enrollments. It's not about whatever, because sometimes January can be a little bit kind of funny for that. So it's all about volume, and it can come from your customers or yourself. It can come from wherever. So just make sure that all your team members know about it. And if they don't yet, or if you haven't tagged them, tag them in Freedom Factory under that contest post. Also, we talked about it on the MMP and MMB goals yesterday, but just in case some of you weren't on there, the goals that you set for yourself following the January the 2nd goal setting call that we did with Renee for you guys, make sure that you do check in with those goals and with those numbers. So whatever numbers you set for your month, you know, we asked you to kind of give yourself like little marks or, you know, mileposts or whatever. So every day, you know, what volume you have to be at. See where you're at right now, because we're 1/3 of a way through the month. So you should be about 1/3 of a way to your month-end goals there as well. And if not, then reevaluate your daily action plan and see what needs to be done in order for you to catch up. There's lots of time to catch up, so don't freak out if you're not on track at all. There's still, 20 days to go, but it's so important to check in with our goals. But okay, one more thing before I bring somebody on here today, because you guys need to hear from her. Whoever of you are following what is going on right now with social media and everything, it only enforces the whole intuition that I had back in the beginning of December that we need a team website, because social media channels are being, the stuff is happening right now. I don't know how long we're going to have Facebook the way we have it right now. Hopefully nothing's going to happen, but things are not looking all that good. So make sure that you have registered yourself on freedomfactory.ca. That's our team's onboarding and training website. There's the team calendar, everything is there. Your Zoom call links are on the calendar and everything, so that you don't feel disconnected just in case all hell breaks loose. And make sure that you're also part of the Freedom Factory Telegram chat, which is also linked on that website. So just in case, I just don't want anybody to feel like a headless chicken should our team group not be here tomorrow. So just preparing ahead of time. And overall, it actually, based on new people who have joined us recently, based on their experiences with the new website, they are rocking and rolling faster than anyone I've ever seen, compared to using the kind of the old, kind of slow time consuming process that we used to do for the past couple of years because the company asked us to. So the new process is a lot faster, and it seems like it's working really, really well because it's quick and puts money into people's pockets a lot faster. But today, I want to talk to you about this one lady who last month, okay, so she's been with us for a few years now. And she did amazing at one point, and then she kind of slowed down a little bit. And there's ups and downs in this business, so that's nothing unusual. But I think it was almost a year when she didn't bring a market partner in. Maybe it was 11 months, something like that, but it was a considerable amount of time. And in the beginning of December, when she saw those big bonuses being announced, she said, that's it. I'm going to be an MMB. She was AMB maintaining sometimes before that. And she said, I'm going to be an MMB by the end of this month. And I'm going to enroll eight market partners. That's what she said. And I'm like, ooh, wow, like this is like a really lofty goal, but let's go. Like, what do you need? And honestly, I must admit, I was like, I don't know if she can do it. But I was there for support, and her sponsor and another upline were up there for support. But it was a really lofty goal, especially coming from not having enrolled anybody for a while. But she had like this something happened. This light bulb went off. These wires got wired differently, and guess what? She ended up with 8 VIPs or 8 market partners, and she also made the MMB last month. Like, this is what can happen when you like push all those fears aside and you just make that decision that this is going to happen. But we need to hear from her directly. So Lena from Nanaimo, BC, she's going to tell you ladies all about what kind of changed in her mind and what pushed her to take such massive action. So I think it's going to be amazing. So Lena, take it away, rock star.
All righty then. Thank you very much for having me on here. Well, as we know, December was a crazy, crazy month. We had Christmas involved, and we had to be a little more creative this year because of, our families all not being able to come, and we had to get stuff out the door, gifts all wrapped and ready to go. But I think my biggest thing when I said I'm getting 8 market partners. And when I said that, I was basically thinking in my head, okay, Lena, you said you were going to get 8 market partners. So how are you going to get 8 market partners? And I didn't really start until the 15th of December. I think it was just after that. And I went, oh my goodness, the month's flying by. What am I going to do? I have to get these 8 market partners. So I think what really, really put me on board too was the fact that if you could get somebody in as a market partner and have their own business for under $300, plus you've got that extra savings inside of the booster packs, I thought it's a no-brainer. So I basically got a hold of people that I figured that could probably take advantage of this situation, and told them, we're going to be all there with you, helping you get through. Plus, you're also going to be getting bonuses here in your packs. So, I think you have to have that trust line there too. You're not blowing smoke up under anybody, right? You have to be pretty much what's the word for it? You got to be authentic, and you have to be honest. So I basically did it that way, and everybody pretty much that I talked to said yes. And believe you me, it wasn't easy because Christmas was for everybody. Everybody was busy doing their own thing. And here's me just kind of knocking at their doors like, hello. Phone calls were going off. And literally it was just absolutely crazy. I can't even explain it, but I wanted those 8 market partners. But it was literally to the very, very crunch at the end of December, literally. And then my computer crashed in doing everything. And I just went, oh my God. So the only thing that I can say is that don't leave it like I did. I did have my ducks in a row, but a few ducks ended up swimming off somewhere else. And then I was just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, right? So I wouldn't leave it till the very end ever again. I don't need that. I mean, I like to be picked up, but that was a little bit over the top. I would definitely, we've talked about January 31st. We have I'm just going to pretend like it's January 30th. So that I have that extra day if somebody does, one of my little ducks takes off somewhere, that I'm going to have that leeway to be able to just keep it calm, keep it collective, and carry on. So that's I can't explain anymore. I pulled a rabbit out of a hat a few times there, and it just happened to work for me. And just because people believe in who I am, and they listen to all of us. We're all a team here, and we've talked about it before that this is a company that has your back no matter what. And I've experienced that time and time and time again. So it's everybody working together and everybody helping each other achieve their goals. And I think that is just absolutely fantastic, because I had a lot of help pushing me and talking. And I want to keep, my biggest thing is keeping consistent because we can kind of veer off to the left and right or whatever. Mind you, with myself, I still have to take that time out for me, because if I don't, I'm reckless. And I have to be able to have myself in line when I'm doing stuff. So I can just honestly say, just keep doing, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And hopefully I can help everybody else that I've gotten on board to do the same thing, to follow what Pile has got this website out there now that, like she said, it's all in a nutshell. It is pretty much genius, as far as I'm concerned. And for anybody we're at home now, it's easy to be able to sell our product. Our product sells itself. So anyways, that's what I did. And I'm hoping that we've got some little extra little goodies around the corner, which Monate always has some little something going on. And I also want to share this little, I love it. It's just a little quote. And it says, highly functioning people say, where I am is fine, but I can grow. And I just absolutely love that. And it just puts a little tinkle there, a little spark there to say, yes, we can grow. And it doesn't matter if you're growing in baby steps, we can all climb that mountain together. And I'm just so happy to be on board with Monate. And I just also wanted to say too, at the very beginning with Monate, I was ecstatic and I did jump boom, 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 boom. And then you just kind of go, oh, slide down. But you know what? It's not even about sliding down. It's about the educating yourself and learning how to do the pinpoints and how to work this business, because we've got the best product in the world. We've got the best skincare, and now we've got, our wellness line. What's stopping us? And God only knows what's around the corner. So anyways, thank you very much for sharing. And I thank everybody out there for being on board.
Thank you so much, Lena, for agreeing to just to share, because I think it's so important for people to know that it's okay sometimes if we slide back a little bit, but then it takes that strong decision that things are going to happen. It's going to just happen, and there's no other way. It's just going to happen. And
Mhm.
a little mindset shift can make miracles happen. I mean, I can't wait to see or hear about what you're going to be doing with your paycheck when you get it, because I think it's going to be, well, it will be the biggest paycheck you've ever seen from Monate. And it came not because you were hoping or praying or whatever, it came because you took action. So it's the coolest thing ever. So I'm so super proud of you. And also Corinne, her sponsor, who made it to AMM last month. So Absolutely incredible. Those two are the funniest. You all need to be watching their Facebook lives that they do together. It's usually something to do with cooking or inspiration, and it's awesome. But
Good.
so today I feel like Lena had to overcome a lot of fears in order to do this. Like, it's sometimes not comfortable to talk to a person. And whatever, even I said before the call started about me reaching out to somebody who had made this viral video with 1 million views, I was like scared, but I reached out to her and I think she's signing up as a market partner. If not right now, then tomorrow morning. It's crazy. But it's so funny how things are aligning right now, because today the big 1 year long training program that I'm a part of with here at Quarry, we had Trent Shelton on today, and he spent 2 hours with us talking about overcoming fear. And oh my gosh, I was like shaking by the end of it. And I felt like I had to relay at least some of it. I can't talk like he talks. I can't be as powerful with my words as he are, but or as he is. But I hope that what I'm gonna tell you about is gonna help you, because my like I have like carpal tunnel after writing today. It was so crazy good. So the thing that he kind of started out with is that, we all are leaders. Even if you're somebody that's brand new to Monate, you don't even have a single market partner. If you show up on social media, or if you have kids at home or whatever, you are a leader because there's somebody that's watching you. And then there's somebody that's kind of looking for direction from you in some sort of a way. If you're somebody that maybe doesn't have any market partners, but you have some VIP customers, you are technically a leader in their eyes. So, you know, we have to put that all that focus on service instead of our own fears. And I'll go into it a little bit because that was just so wild. Oh my God, we're gonna get the visit from the cat next, but that's okay. But putting all the focus on servicing others, servicing those people who see us as leaders, it kind of puts a whole spin on things. So he said, fear is convincing your mind about the result without an experience, right? It's like we are scared of things that we don't even know why the heck we are scared of them. And oftentimes we tell ourselves that something is not going to work before we even try. And we do these things because of things that we have heard from others, or based on our past experiences or whatnot. But all those limitations, Violet, I am so sorry. It's very dramatic right now. Okay, so I'm gonna kick her out right now a little bit in a nice way. Okay, go. You're very loud.
Poor Violet.
Oh my gosh. She has this big stuffy Elmo toy that she carries around, and then she meows at the same time. So it comes out as a very kind of an ugly cry. So dramatic. But I love her. But yeah, like all the greatest limitations, they're all in our head, and they're usually there for no freaking reason at all. It's so insane, right? And all those fears are holding us back from what we can be. And that the fact that the fear, he said, it's the absence of a few things. I never thought of it that way, that the fear is the absence of confidence. That's one of the things. I never thought of it that way. So you are not believing in yourself and your mission enough. So you don't have that enough confidence. And how you can get rid of some of that fear and can get more confident is to deliberately repeat doing something. So if you're scared of reaching out to people in our business, you just need to do more of it. That fear is not going to go anywhere. You can read all the personal development books and listen to all the team calls and things that you want. That fear is not going to go anywhere, and it's not going to go anywhere overnight. Like, you have to be kind of committed to getting rid of it in a way. And the thing too is that we can't erase fear, but we can stop it from kind of overtaking our life and then stopping us from doing things. But the deliberate repetition, so whatever it may be, I don't know, maybe it's picking up the phone and dialing a phone number and actually talking to a human. I know that I hate doing that. Oh my gosh, it's like when you decide to call me, text me first. unless it's you ladies. But if it's somebody else, I'm like, no, like you want to text me first because I feel uncomfortable on the phone. I've always been like that. Like back even in the olden days when we had like the rotary phones, it's like I don't know, what do they want? Like why are they calling me? But maybe that's for you, or maybe it is reaching out to those new people. Maybe you're just scared of starting up new conversations with people that you're following on Instagram. I don't know what it is, but do more of it. And we keep hearing that one over and over, is to detach our emotions from the outcome. So whether they say yes or no, or whether somebody wants samples or doesn't want samples, you completely detach those emotions. And that's kind of a hard thing to do sometimes, because we are so, we try to be so loving and caring and try to help people. And if they say no, it kind of hurts a little bit. But I thought that was interesting. And also the fact that fear is the absence of courage. If you're courageous enough, that fear, it's just not going to be there. But sometimes we don't think about it. At least I don't sometimes think about it. So I wrote it down, that you cannot choose courage and complacency at the same time. It has to be one or the other. So you choose, what's it gonna be? Are you gonna be courageous, or are you gonna be complacent? But you can't be both at the same time. So, and nobody wants to be complacent. I mean, it just doesn't sound all that cool. So, and when the mission is big enough, then the fear is never big enough. When the mission is big enough, the fear is never big enough. Why don't they teach this stuff at school? I don't know. And the third thing, the fear is the absence of certainty. So, and uncertainty equals fear. And he was saying that this stems simply from not having made up your mind. So if you have made up your mind that this month you're going to hit this goal like Lena did last month, that, okay, I'm going to be an MMB. There's no other way I'm going to be an MMB. That fear almost kind of erases itself, because the goal or the mission is so much more important that you just push that fear aside and you push through it, because what you want is so important to you. And it's, you have a lot to lose if you don't hit that goal. So I don't know, to me, this was like really interesting, but also what you focus on, you feel. And what you feel are the actions you take. And the actions you take is what you get. It's like, oh my gosh, sometimes I feel like I think I'm just like focusing on all the wrong things because I don't get what I want to get. So we almost need to like backwards engineer, right? It's like, okay, like what have I been focusing on? Because I think it's like a human nature. We always focus on our limitations. It's like, oh yeah, I want to do this, but I'm not one of those people, or that's not the kind of a family I came from. My mom used to always tell me, whenever I would talk something business related, like my family is not business people. My mom's a composer and a music school, like a whatever director or principal, whatever. And my dad works in like building material supply thing. So neither of them have ever owned any sort of businesses. And up to this day, it's mostly my mom who keeps telling me that, oh, but this is not where you come from. Like doing business, that's not the people we are. And they've engraved this into my brain. And I never realized how deep it went, that they kept telling me, or my mom mostly, I can't blame my dad, he's amazing. But my mom, she was always so critical about the whole thing. And I think that's been one of the things that's also been holding me back, because somewhere back in the brain, there's a part that she engraved with a thought that because nobody in our family tree ever owned a business, because they simply couldn't during the Soviet Union times when we were all born and raised, because you couldn't own a business. That just wasn't the thing. And having her engrave it into my brain that I can't because nobody else has done it before. It's like, oh my gosh, it's such a load of BS. I can't even tell you. But it's like a really recent realization that I've had that, oh my gosh, like, are you kidding me? And I just have no words. I just have no words. But I think it's so important to become aware of these things. Like, what are those things that are holding you back? Because I always felt like, oh, there was nothing holding me back. But clearly there is something, or I would be an SCD and you guys would be all up there with me. So it's important. So instead of focusing on our limitations, focus on the growth. Like, how can you grow? How can you become better? Are you better today than you were in December? To focus on the good things instead of those things that are implanted in our head that should be holding us back. And what's really neat, there's a lot of types of fears, but there's 3 types that tend to be paralyzing to people. And I think it's super important for all of you to know these as well. If you already know this stuff, that's amazing. I didn't, and I full on admit to it. But the number 1 is performance fear. So, with us, our network marketing paycheck is a reflection of our performance, whether we like to hear it or not, but it's sometimes like, oh, ouch. And the fear of not measuring up to the expectations of yourself as well as others is another kind of a performance fear. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to try to go for this goal this month, but I don't want to announce it to anyone because what if I don't hit it and then I'm going to disappoint myself and others, right? So that performance fear is one of the biggest ones, but your self-worth is actually not dependent on your performance. Those 2 things should actually be completely separated. Another thing that I never realized, that I'm not the worst person on the 31st of this month if I'm not the director by that day. Heck no. It's okay. There's the next month. We'll try again and we'll see how it goes. But detach the way you feel about yourself and how worthy you are from what you actually achieve. I mean, achieving things is amazing, and that's what we're all here for different reasons. But separate yourself from your performance and seek to impact over impress. Oh my gosh, that one, I think this is so important. How many of you you had a great idea and you've wanted to go live on Facebook, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't have my makeup on, I don't have my hair done. Yeah, so I'm not going to tell them about this amazing thing that would help all these people. So you probably have noticed, like all my latest Facebook lives, I don't even have makeup on. I don't even care, because if I have a message, I'll put it out there. And if it's of value, people will listen. They're not gonna care what I look like. It's so, instead of putting all this time into impressing them and spending half an hour getting ready, it's like, let me focus on actually maybe helping them, bringing that value to them. That was like huge for me. And alongside that goes service over performance. So as long as you serve people, as long as there's something that you do every day to help others, that performance, it's gonna come on its own as a result. But yeah, you're here to give value and service, not perform, so to say, because it's a lot shallower kind of a feeling to be performing. But if you know that you're helping and impacting, it's just so much more important. Number 2 was projection fear. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this, but you allow other people to project their fears on you. And then you start living with those fears as if they were your own. I am 100% sure that every one of you has done it, because I know I've done it even recently. So, how many times have you heard that somebody says that, oh my gosh, like, you're thinking of going skydiving? Don't go skydiving, because I heard of this guy I read in the paper 5 years ago. Somebody went skydiving and they died. And at the same time, there's millions of people skydiving every day around the world and everybody's fine. But you're going to let that one person's fear make you feel so scared yourself for no reason at all. And then you don't go and do something. The same thing can happen when, and I think we need to be sometimes careful with our team members or who we talk to. If you approach somebody about the business or the products or whatever, and then they were nasty to you, I would almost be careful about it. I mean, we need to be real that this is a part of the business, but if you talk about it too much, you may scare somebody away because they'll take on your fear and they'll be like, oh my gosh, so if I reach out to people, that means that they're going to be nasty to me. I don't know if I could survive that. So I think we need to be careful about those kinds of things, you know, being real that, yeah, no's are a part of the business and all that. But at the same time, your fear is not mine. What you have experienced is not mine. And also whatever happened to you yourself yesterday, it doesn't mean that it's ever going to happen again. So stop letting people place their limitations and fear and junk on you. I don't know. I was exhausted after this training today because I had so many light bulbs that went off all at once. It was like, I don't know how much energy my brain required to keep all those light bulbs on, but it was so cool. I hope that you're getting something out of this. So there was an exercise, and I'll give it to you as well. So dig up the seeds of fear and doubt and all the things that are paralyzing you. So make like 3 columns on a piece of paper, just 3 columns like that, just separate them with lines. And so you can think of the first one is fear. You can put into that column one particular fear that you have. Like what scares you? Is it fear of failure? Is it feeling that you're not good enough? Is it fear of rejection? Is it fear of physically getting hurt when you want to do, I don't know, some action sport? I don't know, whatever it may be. But in the first one, write down the fear. And in the second one, write down who planted it. Like, why are you scared of it? Where did it come from? And then in the third one, why you need to dig it up. What would happen to your life if you dig up that fear, throw it in the garbage, tie a big knot on the bag, and take it outside? It's gone. Why is it important to do that? What would it change for you if you do that? So hopefully this brings something up, and you can do it with all the different fears and things that come up. I know that fear of rejection is still a huge one for me, and also I wrote down that I'm always afraid that I'm not good enough or strong enough of a leader, and that's when I figured it out that it came from my mom, who said that you're not one of those people. That's not how we brought you up. This is not the part of your past. So today I was like, fuck, did I say that word? F that, let it go. Like literally let it go. So sometimes we need those wake up calls to really kind of shake us up, right? Number 3, the reason, number 3 type of fear. So that's the past fear, things in our past or experiences that you've had in the past that are holding you from changing those new experiences. So if you've had whatever bad thing happened in the past, it could be that maybe, I know that this is a horrible example, but let's say that you were driving at one point and then somebody rear-ended you. And then the next time when you get your car fixed, you're scared to get in the car because you're afraid that it's going to happen again. So you try not to drive. Or the same thing my son went through when he was figure skating. He had a really bad accident, lost a bunch of his teeth, a whole big horror story. He never went back on the ice again after he got stitched up. He never went back on the ice because he was afraid the same thing is going to happen again. Back then, I didn't know what I know today, so I couldn't even encourage him. I was just like, yeah, whatever makes you happy. Yeah, that's okay. You can skip out of your competitive figure skating, which he did. I don't know where he would be today if I had encouraged him to keep going, but I didn't have any personal development back then because I was still in the corporate world and that was not encouraged. So it's like, what if you find out things and what if you're going to quit? Yeah. But so what is it in your past maybe that you've done and you've maybe screwed up, or you've had an accident, or maybe you've got hurt, whether it's like physically or mentally? Like, what is it that you're not doing today because of something that happened in the past? I think we all like it. There's baggage. We all have baggage, I think, in that department. Because, back in the day when we all were little kids, we had no fears because we didn't have any of those bad experiences. It's like, yeah, maybe you got stung by a bee once or twice running across the grass field, whatever, but you really didn't even care about that. It's like, okay, well, it hurts a couple of days and you go back. But as we get older, we start collecting these bad experiences and we put so many limitations on ourselves because, oh, what if it happens again? So that's just so crazy. But we are full on allowed to change our story. So our past experiences, our past failures, our past bad chapters doesn't mean that your book, your story has to end the same way. Like there could be a total plot twist that starts with today and everything changes. Everything's going to be amazing and you're going to face those fears. So, and two things that feed fear, and it's so true. Number one is insecurities, and number two is inconsistency. Do you notice sometimes that when you, I don't know, take a break in your business and then you try to go back to prospecting and adding new people to your list, it's so much harder, right? It's like, oh my gosh, you all of a sudden forget how to talk to people. I've been through this, I don't know how many times, and I'm sure some of you have here too, but it's staying consistent and, talking to people every single day, just even one person, it keeps that consistency so it doesn't feel scary. But if you take a longer break, it becomes scary. It's kind of funny. I mean, I remember when I first came to Canada, back in Europe where I grew up, we went skiing in Norway and there were like crazy tall mountains. We always went skiing, we did downhill. And then I came to Canada and I didn't ski for quite a few years. And then when I got back on that hill, I thought I was going to die because I hadn't done it for so long. And it's kind of crazy. And yeah, I crashed. I still have the pole. It's completely bent and it went around the tree a couple of times, but I did it. And now I've been going back every single year. And now when the season starts, I have been off the entire summer. It feels as if I haven't been off at all. So you can't be, with that sport, you can't be consistent every single day throughout the year, but you can keep that seasonal consistency. And so it's the same kind of in our business. It's like whatever you need to stay consistent with it so it doesn't turn into fear for no reason at all. So start showing up, because by showing up, Renee actually talked about it on the, I don't know if it was the MMP or MMB call, but showing up is so important. First of all, it helps you get rid of those fears because the fears don't even settle in, because your body and your brain knows that, okay, this is just what you do. This is a part of life. Every single day, you show up in some sort of a way to your team, to your customers, to wherever, the social media, whatever. And when we do show up frequently, people start trusting us more because they see that, oh, she's sticking with this thing. She's not one of those that joins one company today and another one tomorrow and then leggings on a third day. We've seen all those people, and you never know what company they're in because they're flipping so much back and forth. But when people see that consistency from us, they learn to trust us. And it's like Renee was saying on one of the calls yesterday, is that, she's had people who have been approached by our company by so many other people, but they have chosen to join her because they have seen that she has been showing up over a long period of time consistently. So they feel like they can trust her more than their own friends that have been approaching them. I think that speaks absolute volumes. So super interesting. But so apparently, there's an alter ego that we all have inside ourselves. Do you sometimes feel like you're doing something and like something kind of flips and this super awesome person comes out? And it's not like bipolar or anything, but it's a different version of you. But this badass person comes out and like says things that you were like, I don't know where this came from, but that was awesome. So apparently there's one of those people in all of us, and I'll give you the exercise that I had to do earlier today because it was really cool. So there's an alter ego inside all of us that is, fearless, unstoppable, and that does not care what people think. It does what it needs to be done to get to wherever, not in a bad way, but it's almost like that mini monster that comes out and takes care of stuff that needs to be taken care of, while your usual everyday you is scared. So and so I wanted to do what I had to do earlier today. So think about that person that sometimes comes out. If you have experienced that, I know that's happened to me so many times in life, where I'm like, I don't know where this came from. I don't know, was it me who said this? Was it me who did this? But it happened. So think about the avatar, create that avatar for yourself and try to describe it. Like, what is that person? What is that alter ego, that super courageous one that's inside you? What is it like? What is that person like? Some of the things that I wrote down was that she's fearless and she pushes through all obstacles and she's like unbelievably confident. And it may be something completely different for you. And then think of a name for it. Mine is Viking Queen. It can be anything for you. And then think about, what situations does she show up in? What are those situations when she pops up? Some of the things that I wrote down was mine shows up, and I want her to show up more when it comes to public speaking, when I'm contacting new people, and when I'm in stressful situations. It's like I want that badass to come out and take care of things like they should be taken care of. So this is going to be different for all of you, but think about these things.
Pile, will you repeat your examples of what you just
Oh,
said?
yeah, for sure.
I lost it. Thank you.
So,
and Viking Queen is perfect. That
it's just like, that's the first thing that came to my mind, and I'm like, that must be the one. So the avatar of the person, I just put down fear. I didn't go into the details of what she really looks like, because I think that she looks like me, but maybe with a Viking hat, I don't know. But fearless, pushes through all obstacles, and super confident. That was my thing, but I would love to hear some of yours too.
Hey, Pele, can I chime in for a sec here? Hey, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm fighting with my in-ears, sorry. Okay. So when you were talking about what does that person look like, it was interesting because just today I was thinking about, I'm in a situation where I'm in a very, it's a challenging situation that's really putting a lot of stress on my faith and testing my faith. And I had the thought today of, what would it look like on the other side of this if I didn't give up? So I was like conscious of the reality that I'm in right now, but with the perspective of it's already over. And then I applied the faith and I saw it through, and it was overcome. So when you're talking about what does that person look like, that just really struck me, because so many times, like, I know you guys, or if you're like me, you think back at like back in junior high or elementary school or high school, somebody said something to you and you think, oh my gosh, if I'd only said something, or if I could have only handled that situation different. But we don't have to reflect back with regret. We can just look at today as those opportunities that we overcame that today. We have that same challenge today, that there's a fear that we're facing today, and that what is it going to look like on the other side of it? Looking back at this moment, sort of like obviously being super aware present of the present moment, but with the perspective of reflecting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there, and I don't know if I just matrixed out on all you guys, but I'm just saying that that just really struck me. And with you just sort of confirming what I already sensed today was happening. Like, I'm just looking back at a moment. Like, I have a moment to stand and believe when I shouldn't. I mean, not shouldn't, but have every reason to not, right? All the fears are climbing in and all that, but I'm I'm standing in faith and believing, and I'm going to be able to look back at this time and say, nope, I believed, and overcome it. So applying that to this, you know, who is that person that's going to show up for the fear factor,
Mhm.
right? For those scary times. And then are we going to be proud of that person? Are we proud of her? And I want to be proud of myself, looking back and going, oh my gosh, I was so terrified, but I did it anyway.
Yes. Yes, that's the thing. And being able to call that alter ego out when you need her, I think that's a hugely like an acquired skill, right? Like it's like, okay, let's flip the
Right.
switch. Let's
That's so
bring her
good.
out. I think
I love that.
something.
So good.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted and I can't click the button.
Oh, I was done. I was just going to mute myself.
Oh no, that's okay. Did I cut you off?
You know, I have an advantage over all of you because I'm older. And that's a beautiful thing because I've had lots of opportunities to have that creature rise up out of me and completely master whatever was going on. It's happened a million times.
Mhm.
And it always happens when there's a great need of some sort, of any kind. It has worked in business to my advantage on many occasions, but I find it happening more in situations where someone's heart is broken or someone absolutely, I know something's going on and no one else knows it. And that, and I wrote down because I know what she looks like because I've had so many people tell me back after over all these years what had happened. I know that when that happens inside of me, it definitely feels very much like it really is like a superhero type of a situation.
Mhm.
It's a brilliant, I'm brilliant in that situation. I'm brilliant. I know things that I didn't even know I know. Okay. So
Mhm.
I'm brilliant here, but there's also a very bright light that kind of pours out of you when you're in those circumstances, I think. I have had it come in so many occasions, so many times, so many things where people were in danger, where I actually stopped people from being killed. I mean, just some weird things have happened in my life. I've just have been in places at the right time, and I always go completely into this super crazy mode that stops like whatever's going to happen. And it's in varieties of ways, but there's definitely a light. And I also, it really comes out in me in a way that is sometimes even entertaining. It can even be entertaining. It can be someone, it can put the room to ease if there's a problem going on and there's conflict. I can come in and I can be that bridge between split ideas. So I think we all have that ability because we're all created.
Mhm.
We all have that beautiful creation to do that. And I think it's really powerful when I think the more we recognize our own beautiful presence, the more we will recognize it, the more it will come out. You know, the more we recognize it and give voice to it and allow ourselves to shine, the more we almost invite it to come out.
Mhm. Yeah, it's true. It's when you let it shine, it wants to come out more and almost help, right? It's I don't know, it's kind of a crazy thing, but why don't we all like try to recognize that person more and encourage it to come out more because it's gonna be helpful for us, you know, with this whole overcoming fears topic. The fact is that most of us are not yet where we want to be, whether it's in business or in some other area, because it's because of fear. It all boils down to fear. We can't blame anyone else. We can't say that, oh, I haven't achieved this, whatever, because of someone else. It's like, no, it's like something is holding us back. Does anybody else? Oh, Lena. Oh, hold on. I'll unmute you. Oh, I can't. You need to unmute yourself.
There we go. Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one here is really cool because when we talk about fear, right? And it's just getting over it, like it's just one obstacle. Like, for instance, myself, I'm a one-on-one girl. I've been a hairdresser for 100 years. Well, not 100, but a long time. And to be able to put myself out there on social media, even talking right now, right? It just bumps you up. So when we talk about those baby steps are fear steps that you've bumped yourself up to the step. And then you're going to bump yourself up to another step of all those fears that were always in your way. And it just makes it easier when you take those little steps, because after a while, then you just go like this. What was I scared of?
Mhm.
It's just getting through that little, like I said, baby steps of fear. And before you know it, so I had to share that. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, because it's so true, because it's not something that you can just fix in a day or two or even in a month. Like, you may feel a little bit better and know how to handle these things a little bit better after a year of consciously working on them. It's not gonna come overnight, so don't have that expectancy, because it's gonna be super unrealistic. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like baby steps. Conquer one thing and see, okay, what's next? Okay, I got it. So yeah, does anybody else feel like sharing their alter ego badass version person?
Is it terrible that I want to throw Dee under the bus right now? Because I know she's a badass. She's hiding her cape. Where is she?
Like,
I
know
see
that I
you.
can come on this call. Turn on my camera.
I told Dee today that I was gonna do a massive shout out to her on our team page for her stepping out and bravery. And hey, as long as we're not like on the team page, but we're with the team, would you mind, Dee, just chiming in and sharing what you did? Just share like you did with me on the phone today.
I hate you, but I love you at the same time. Let's see what I do today. Well, I did our little Monday morning Zoom with a few of my team members, and our homework was on the calendar on Freedom Factory, which was to post something about either the product or helping somebody. And so, with the help from my 3 friends and encouragement, it took me a bloody hour to make one single post to make it sound like it was sincere, and it was, but I didn't want to sound salesy. Let me just rephrase that. So anyway, worked on it and accepted the input and changed things, tweaked them, and posted a picture of a selfie that I had taken of myself and about just baited about being a sun worshiper and all the damage I've done and what these incredible products have done for my skin, and feeling really good at 52 years old. And I posted it, and I'm pretty sure I almost hyperventilated when I posted it, but I've already had a couple of reach outs just because of that one finally putting it out there.
That's
One of the
awesome.
gals I've known since I was 5, who doesn't even live around here anymore, but she's just like, all right, I need to know what's going on. Talk to me. She's like, I've been using Rodan and Fields for 3 years, and they discontinued something, and I need help. So, again, talk to people, put it out there, and it's amazing the response that you can get. I'm always in my own way, always in my own way.
Right. I just had to look up your post so that I'll do you mind if I read it to everyone? Because this is the prime example of an excellent curiosity post. Like, I
No,
could,
go right. That's fine.
like, it is so perfect. It's not salesy, but it makes me wonder. I'm like, what the heck is she using? I need to know. And there's no company name. Like, my only way to find out is to contact you. This is how it's done, ladies. Okay. So she put up a pretty selfie. And she said, as a result of being a sun worshiper back in the day, my skin was not happy with me. Where are all my sun worshippers out there? I have found a solution. I've never been happier. 52 is looking pretty good.
Perfect.
Who doesn't want to know what she's using? So, and you have 18 comments. That's excellent.
Mhm.
So you got some new leads out of it.
Mhm.
Way to go.
Yeah, a couple direct reach outs on message. And I just look at it again, Andrea. You'll appreciate this. Jeff Beckham wants to know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Mhm.
A man.
Who was it? Do you say one more time the name?
Jeff
Beck-
Beckman, our shear sharpener.
Oh, yeah, Beckman. I thought you said Beckham. I'm like, oh, okay, Beckman.
I think I
gotcha.
did.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
okay, but
That's
he's
awesome.
that's
Being a
awesome. I'm so
surfer, he
excited.
said.
I just wanted
Being a
to make
fellow
sure
surfer,
Dee
and
was recognized.
thank you.
That's so fantastic.
We
And that's,
need-
I mean, to post one of these things, once or twice a week, will you feel as scared the next time? Probably not.
No.
Right? The next thing you can talk about is maybe flip it around and talk about your hair in the same kind of a way. And that's all it takes. And sometimes it even doesn't have to be your own selfie. It could be, I don't know, Andrea's, and just be like, hey, my bestie, oh my gosh, I've seen her hair through the worst things ever, but holy cow, how her hair has transformed. I don't know, you can write something like that. And people will want to know because they'll be like, oh my gosh, yeah, my hair looks not good right now. I need help.
When I first started to put it together, I was gonna do my hair, because that's how it started for me on my skin. But then I realized it was way too much.
Focus on
So I had
one
to
thing.
kind of break it down, and then I'll do my hair next time.
Yeah, that's
what was awesome about this was, Pile, that Renee and a few of us were like intentionally doing a work party, whatever you want to call it. And this was something that was like collaborative effort, like just supporting one another and gleaning really great pointers from one another. I mean, I learned more today I learned more today and was inspired more today in the hour and 15 minutes that I was participating from just our teammates. You guys, we have like super inspirational people within our own team. So, I mean, obviously, PLA being an amazing leader, there's all a bunch of just great leaders within this team, but we're better as a team. And I just love that we were able to get some, just enriching ourselves by learning from one another today. That was just such a blessing. And Dee continues to inspire me. I'm just blown away by her growth and stretching herself. But when she'd rather just go sit in the corner and watch everyone else, it's like because we've all seen what she can do, and so she knows it. Dee, don't you? You need it. Come on out.
I love you. Thank you.
It's time to blossom. Okay, Georgine, you have a good night. Thanks for hopping on. But yes, it's been over an hour here, and I know your time is valuable. So I just wanted to thank you. I'm so, I can't even talk. I just wanted to thank you and say that I'm so grateful for all of you hopping on here. This was recorded, so it's going to go up in Freedom Factor as well as on the website so that people can watch it if they wish to do so. But seriously, I hope that some of this was helpful for you today. And I hope that you're going to revisit the topic. If you ever feel like you're being held back by something, go and figure it out from your notes from today and see what it is, because the likelihood is that the answers are there and it's not anything that's rocket science. So,
You guys, before we go, Patty's on the line. Can we all give Patty a shout out? She just signed up her first VIP today. So.
Yay, Patty!
Yay,
Thank
Patty!
you.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Keep it going. Keep it
Her
going.
iPad
the
was a
wheels are
disaster,
moving.
and her back office was a disaster, and everything was a disaster. So we got on the phone and we got it done, and it worked out fine. But yeah, she got her friend signed up. So yay!
Oh, that's so exciting. Many more to come.
Mm.
All right, ladies. Well, you all have an amazing night. We're going to see you MMPs and MMBs again on Sunday, and the MM runners on Wednesday night at 6 p.m. And I'll be talking to you from the ski hill because I'm going to try this whole skiing thing again after being stuck in the snow last week. So there we are. Good night, everyone. Love you all.